That's the thing that I try to teach them, is to balance that need for having a conceptually sound work, which is something we really work hard to teach them, but then also allowing themselves a space to play and experiment and make mistakes too.
In Jazz Improvisation 1, I came in there with absolutely zero experience of jazz, and Dr. Campbell introduced me to a whole new world. Dr. Campbell accepted me on the trust that I would learn the instrument.
Maya Godlewska was the teacher that pushed me to no end. She would force me to get over my fears of messing things up or doing things out of place, and she would literally come in and like rip a piece off and be like, now work with that. And she gave me obstacles to work over, so it forced me to become better.
I don't think I would be an actress today if it weren't for Lon.
There's lots of times you find those students that just take that nugget and run with it. That's a good time.
One of the most telling things about this school is that when I walk down, the theater hallway on the 3rd floor, doors are open. The professors here are engaged with their own, kind of academic endeavors, but they're also engaged with yours, and they're ready to help you, and I've definitely seen that help and seen that support.
EE teaches us by showing us everything that he wants to do. He always demonstrates full out, meaning that if he's going to do a tendu pointing the foot to the front, he does that fully, using his entire body to show us how to use our entire bodies instead of just our leg or just our foot.
When you really get people creatively engaged, they generate the ideas, they manage the project. You just sort of like give it the parameters within which to flow, and that's what makes teaching something. And you yourself, as a teacher, that sustains you. That sustains you, because your life becomes fresh, because you're discovering all the time.
Because Charlotte is an urban institution, I think it's ideal for a student to be in an urban institution within a College of Arts and Architecture, where they're open to experimentation and open to taking risks and getting out there. We also have to look at the abundance that is already here, the abundance that in our resources, which is this beautiful building or this beautiful campus, and the dance studios we have in the beautiful Ann R. Belk Theater.
Well, I think especially for the architecture program, students have the opportunity to engage with people in the community, and so you get out of the university environment. I've gone to the city a lot and talked to people in the city departments.
There's just so many possibilities for students in Charlotte. Having a space right here in the center of the city gives the students to get exposed in a way that they really would have a hard time doing otherwise. I mean, the major galleries down here are all commercial. There's very few alternative gallery spaces where students could do experimental-based works. One of the things that I think is really unique in Charlotte, and that's been something that's been really blossoming in the last couple of years, and I can just see the trajectory of it going even farther, is there's a lot of partnerships between UNC Charlotte and places like the McCall Center, the Beckler Museum, the Light Factory.
Charlotte's a growing city, so there's a number of establishments that always need music. There's certainly a demand for bass players, so I regularly perform in town. Definitely, always trying to, learn something new, then go use it next time I'm performing. The fact that there's some really phenomenal faculty here, they present you with the tools, and the fact that you're in the city, you could give the tools, then you could go learn how to apply them firsthand.
Going to a gallery and seeing people's art, going to a dance production and seeing visual art and how they're using their bodies to show sound, you can get a lot out of it. Things are always interrelated.
The students in the Department of Art have been able to use facilities that were otherwise housed in architecture. A year and a half ago, we were able to start using the laser cutter to start making initially small small planar sculptures, but then students started using them also to make intaglio prints and woodblock relief prints. And now we have some students who are starting to get really interested in the rapid prototyping machines.
Emily Mockish runs the honors program, and we took her first seminar, and it was a small group, but they were students from every department in the college. Over the 2 years of doing that, I've gotten to know a lot of people within arts, within dance, within performance, and within music, and it's actually piqued my interest to learn more about the other departments. I'm really into the jazz ensembles. I've seen a couple of those. I saw when Charlotte Symphony Orchestra was here. I saw a couple of the operas.
I think the most artistically fulfilling things about work here is actually collaborating with other artists outside of your field. When we did our interdisciplinary collaboration at the City Center, and that was very, very interesting because what was created was a playground where the dancer, who was me, was able to climb up on walls and platforms and hang from ladders.
At UNCC, we bring in people to augment the educational process, such as the Actors for London stage, which are 5 actors. They tend to change with every year, doing a Shakespeare play with just the 5 of them. And they're using very little props, hardly any set, if there's any at all, and very limited costumes. And yet, it's the acting that motivates it. This is hugely inspiring to people who are in Charlotte, North Carolina, going to school, who never get a chance, perhaps, to see London theater. But of course, it also led us to create a program where we do have a group of people during spring break who get credit for going to see London theater.
The most important aspect of my performing is to always bring it back to what the students are going to learn from it. So we've created some educational opportunities for our voice students where they can actually sing with the voice faculty. The last recital was called Liederabend, which translates literally to an evening of song, where the students were able to perform on the same recital with the voice faculty so that we can kind of show them how to walk the walk and talk the talk.
Solar Decathlon is a great opportunity for our students to learn about how the design and a build project works from early on the beginning of the design party and schematic design till the end of the project.
I was cast in Primitive Mysteries, which was originally choreographed by Martha Graham, but it was restaged by Kim Jones and principal dancer Elizabeth Auclair. We had this sense of community within the piece, which you always want that in a piece, but this particular piece, there was so much unison that we had to breathe together. That entire experience was just completely new for me, of working as one body rather than 15 dancers on stage.
If you really depend on each other and you push through any performance, I think the outcome is bound to be good because you at least have that connection with the person on stage beside you, enough to know we're in it together. You can play around and actually just be yourself, and you're not afraid to take risks because you know that the peers around you respect you and you respect them.
My most exciting days are when we're in the critique rooms and I just get my trace paper out and I'm really excited about somebody else's project.
In the studio space that I'm in now, it's just me and one other girl. Her name's Heather. And we don't necessarily work together, but everything that we do kind of feeds off the other person. We've just recently noticed we're all using the same colors. And she's working on glass and I'm working on panel, but at the same time, our methods of doing things are becoming the same, and the way that we work, we'll ask questions all day, does this look good, or does that look bad, or what should I put here?
Art is about humanity. It's about the connection between people in life, and I think it's really important that we all keep in mind that without each other, where would we be?